Formula Offroad in Egilsstadir. This is a two-day event. The first part was the Icelandic Championship. However, both days would count towards the FIA Northern European Zone Cup, which is, we could call it the World Cup of Formula Offroad. Now let's have a look at the standings. Ingólfur leads Atli Jamil and Þór Þormar equal in second. However, Magnús only 1 point behind. Geirvert Grímsson needs to bounce back. This is the day before the event. All the cars on show in the center of Egilsstadir, which is a small town in the east of Iceland. And the town was buzzing for Formula Offroad. Let's kick off the action. This is the first track. This is Atli Jamil Ásgeirsson. He won the last race in Stapafell and was looking to grab some more points in Egilsstadir. Wants to be a title challenger. There's a lot of dust in the tracks in Egilsstadir. It's been dry, it's been summer there. Only there in Iceland. And Atli Jamil does well here on the final climb. Now this is Þór Þormar Pálsson. He won the first race of the season. However, things have been difficult since then. Þór Þormar definitely a contender for the win here and maybe the title. Now in some trouble there. Does he need to reverse? Yes, he does. That's 40 penalty points. Not a good way to start the day for Þór Þormar. Now getting ready for the final climb. Full gas. Big jump, and that's a roll. Pretty hefty roll for Þór Þormar. Not the way he wants to kick off the day. And we can see there's some damage, but it looks minor. Daniel Gunnar Ingimundarson. This is Green Thunder. The car already having engine issues just off the line. Listen to that turbo, but turbo he's not going far. 80 points. Here is Ingólfur Guðjónsson. This is Guttin Reborn. Let's hear from him.
Hvernig líst þér á fyrstu braut?
Já, hún ágætt.
Og nú öll pressan á þér, þú leiðir Íslandsmótið?
Já, það allt of mikil pressa. Það allt of mikið að setja á mig núna. Það málið.
Yeah, he is feels the pressure leading the championship. And let's see how it goes for him today. Ingólfur going for the final climb, doesn't make it. That's only 180 points. Green flags up. And here is Gísli Gunnar Jónsson. Like we said before, a legend of the sport, and it's fantastic to have him running these hills again. Countless championships, countless wins. Every kid in Iceland, my age at least, knew who Gísli Gunnar was in his prime. Gets a bit loose there, but that's 230 points without penalty points. Here we have Ásmundur Ingjaldsson driving the bomb. This is his rookie season, and there is his rookie mistake. Too much throttle over the curb, which would throw him out. Let's see this again from inside. Gets it turned, feels he needs the throttle, but the car just steps out. The rear end steps up, and down he goes. Look at that fluid there leaking into his eyes. That's not good. That's disgusting. That's oil. That's gonna hurt. Here we have Mikael Johnson driving the Pegasus. He's one of 4 Norwegian drivers that made the trip to Iceland for the Nes Cup. Takes it easy here in the first course and only gets 160 points. This is Guðlaugur Sindri Helgason. This is a local boy. He wants to impress the crowd, impress his home crowd, impress the girls outside. However, he needs to get a move on if he wants to do so. Full throttle here up the hill. That's a good climb. He takes the lead. Definitely impressed me at least. Here's Guðni Grímsson driving the Cube. Magnús, the regular driver, couldn't race in Egilsstadir, so Guðni took over duties and gets big air there before he stops out of course. 210 points. Let's see this from inside. The sky is blue and the grass is green. So, the standings after the first course. Surprise, surprise, local boy Guðlaugur leads Atli Jamil and legend Gísli Gunnar. However, Guðni had some troubles on his way back to the pits. Now, Marshall's drivers having a look at the second track, and it was Atli Jamil who kicks it off. This is Thunderbolt. This course was long and tricky. And there's trick number 1. Let the course through. Atli Jamil stuck. 80 points. Not happy with that. Here we have Kristján Finnur Simonsson driving the Contractor. This is a new car this season. He was having engine troubles in the first races. However, the car's working well now until it stopped right there. Which might have been a driver error. Let's see if he can get it moving. He's got some traction there. Could roll it here. Will do. So, 90 points. Here's the local boy that was leading after the first course. Guðlaugur Sindri Helgason. He gets 40 penalty points there for reversing, 20 for touching the marker. And he's made it further than Atli Jamil though. Keeps on, keeps on. Tries to crawl around here. He needs to get through this gate. Will he reverse again? That's gonna be more penalty points. He's up to 100 penalty points already. Needs to get going. Is he gonna touch that stick? That's 20 penalty points more. And a big climb here. Doesn't make it. That only gives him 130 points. He's got 120 penalty points for all of that. So sometimes you gotta pick your battles. Here's Gísli Gunnar. Goes all the way, takes the lead. Let's see this from inside. Gísli Gunnar knows how it's done. Long and tricky, suits him. He's pleased with that. It is Haukur Einarsson driving Hekla. He started competing in 2014. He's still looking for his first win. Big jump there. Legend has it that Lewis Hamilton came to Iceland to drive this car right after the Silverstone Grand Prix. That is Haukur's Hekla. Here is Ingólfur, however. Full throttle all the way. 110 penalty points. That yields him 240 points. Now let's see the standings. Gísli shares the lead with Guðlaugur, local boy. Ingólfur 3rd. Haukur 4th and Atli Jamil 5th. Now this is track number 3. Guðmundur Eliasson is driving Rodeo. It's a teenager in his dad's car. Something we all dread, but will eventually happen. However, he's been driving it all year. Doesn't quite make it up the first climb here. So that's 70 points. It is Roger Fossen driving Mad Croc. The Norwegian drivers seem to be not quite so used to the technical, twisty courses. And then things can end up like this. Here's Þormar Pálsson fighting for the championship, fighting with Atli, needs to go further than him. Okay, the track is only halfway done.
Þetta fært?
Þetta fært en ég ekki viss allir fara upp saman.
En þú ferðu?
Ég ætla mér það.
Ingo?
Auðvitað. Ég ætla að orða nafn. Ingo hefur aldrei satt orð.
Right, so let's see what Thor does here in the final climb. It's a big jump. It's a lot of pressure. He's lining up for it. Now, when will we see him go full throttle? Will he go for it? He said he would. Full throttle, big drive. Doesn't quite make it. Good try though, 150 points. Here is Gísli Gunnar Jónsson. Last one in 2008. He wants a win. Well done, Gisli. Getting ready for that final climb. He was equal on points for the lead before this track. Needs to reverse here to get through this gate. He's gonna go all the way if he's reversing here. Not getting a lot of grip there. It's loose. 40-pound points there again. Needs to go for that final climb. Takes a completely different line and does not reach it. So only 100 points for Gisli. And the view's pretty blocked. But the car seems to restore itself. Here's Haukur Einarsson, the final climb proving difficult already for everybody. Haukur struggling here. Managed to get through there. However, he got the black flag. But he's gonna try to go all the way. He hasn't seen it. And that ends up in a lot of dust. He thought he did well, but since he got black flag, there's no points for this try here. Here is Ingólfur Guðjónsson. He misses that gate as well. He doesn't notice. He gets the black flag. However, he's gonna go for it, not knowing that that's a big jump. That would have been stunning. Well, that was stunning. But too bad he was out of the course, out of bounds. Let's see this from inside. Big air. Now let's hear from Atli Jamil.
Atli, þetta fært?
Mér finnst þetta bara stórt. Kannski svona lítill, en þetta hátt sko.
He says it's possible. No one has made all the way here. Will Atli be the first one? Full throttle, big jump. Nope. 170 points for Atli. So let's see the standings now. Gisli Gunnar leads, Atli Jamil, Guðlaugur third, and Þór Þormar fourth. Geir Grímsson in fifth. Now let's move over to the fourth course. This is Arne Ingi Svansson driving the Storm. He's been competing the last few years. However, this is a new car, and it's the second Honda-powered vehicle in the Icelandic Formula Offroad Championship. Honda power or not, he's not getting through that gate right now. However, he needs to maneuver around and go up. The car is working well, but it does not have good steering radius. However, he gets through the gate. That's good. Final climb, very steep up here. It needs a lot of throttle. Gets thrown away. That's a big roll. And that roll was big enough to bend the roll cage. And that meant that he had to retire. Here is Geir Grímsson. He's a very wild driver. Needs more consistency. However, let's see how he does here in this big roll as the skies opened up and it started raining in Egilsstadir. 40 penalty points here for reversing, and the rain could change things. That's how it all goes wrong for Geir. It is Þór Þorland driving Ugly Betty. He is the defending NEZ champion. Last season the cup was held in Norway. Let's see how he does here. Managed to go around, full throttle, going for that bank, but doesn't really want to commit. Or what? Tries again. Rolls it. He's 9th after this track. It is Þór Pálsson. Will he make the turn without reversing? That's great. Look at this. Big air from Þór Þormar. And our rodeo finished. And he knows he's happy with that. Let's see this from his side. Gets going and thrown right up in the air. Big landing. Big landing. Here is Gisli Gunnar. He's seen how Þór Þormar did it. Will he be able to do the same? Gonna try to spin it around here. Probably go full throttle to try and spin it. It's not going well for him. Knows he needs to reverse there, otherwise he'd be black flag. gate, full throttle, goes for the jump. Makes it. That's 350 points for length, 100 penalty points. Here is Haukur Einarsson driving Hekla. The car's similar to Thor Thormars, and no, look at that jump. 300 points for the length, because the rear wheels did not make it as he rolled. Look at that. The judges judged that as 300 points. Here is Atli Jamil. He was runner-up in the cup last year. Was the only Icelander to take part in it in Norway. Wants to do better. Only 20 penalty points for Atli so far. Will he go all the way? Needs the grip. Oh, it's gonna be a bad landing. Big roll for Atli. Icelandic flags all over the hills of Egilsstadir. Atli walks away. Crowd pleaser. Now let's see the standings. Gísli Gunnar leads Atli Jamil and Thor Thormar. Guðlaugur and Haukur 4th and 5th. Now we move over to track number 5. This is Kristmundur Dagsson, Tímur. He's a local boy. Has only competed at Egilsstadir in the last years. So he's a bit out of practice, but makes it up there. Decent driving so far from Kristmundur. Has to turn left to try for that final climb. Needs to reverse it there. That's 40 penalty points. Goes for it, full throttle, but doesn't quite. He's not dedicated enough to make that, so that's only 70 points. It is Þormar Pálsson. He needs a good result here to keep up with the leaders. So far, so good. Probably got some penalty points there. He touched a few sticks. Crawling down. Getting ready here for this twisty. That's a hard bend there. That's 80 penalty points so far. Tough climb there, but makes it. Thor has a reputation for flying his car. This is a big jump. What will Thor do now? Full throttle. Big jump! Huge jump! That's insane. That's a big roll. Let's see this again. Wow, that's one of the bigger ones. You need nuts the size of coconuts to go for this one. Do not try this at home or at a race. I was asked there by the safety crew if he was okay and how metal he was. It is Gísli Gunnar. This is the Jeepster. He's 2 tracks away. Oh my god, the car catches fire there. Could be nitrous. The carburetor just blows up and there's fire all over. Get out, Gísli. You don't need to back it into the pits. Quick to the rescue. One guy falling down the hill. Off with it, and it's a cooperation to get it solved in time. But that might be the end of the day for Gísli Gunnar. Let's see if he'll return. Here is Ingólfur Guðarsson, Guttin Born. He ends the first day in 13th and out of the points in the Icelandic Championship. Now Atli Jamil with Gísli Gunnar's troubles. He has the win in his hands. Does well here to clinch it, seals the win, goes all the way, and Atli only needed to finish the time attack in the final course of the day to seal the win, and he did. Fantastic win for Atli, let's see it here. Thor Thormar second with his humongous jumps. Haukur, Gulur and Gísli. Now let's see how that stands in the Icelandic Championship. Atli Jamil takes the lead. Thor Thormar second, Ingólfur third, Geirivit Grímsson fourth and Magnús fifth. Now let's take a quick look at the modified class. 3 cars competed. This is an EZ Championship race. These cars run tires smaller than the fully modified cars, however bigger than the street legal class. This is Ole Christian Østad, Turbo Troll. Engine troubles on day 1. He finished day 2 low on power, finished 3rd and last. Look at that. That's not a pretty sight for Formula Offroad. Car not working well. This is Bjarki Reynisson driving the Animal. He's a multi-vet champion in the modified class. However, he had to settle for 2nd place. And the winner, by quite surprise, was Haukur Birgisson driving the Þeitingur. He usually drives in a street legal class. However, the only thing he did was put bigger tires under his Willys, the one that he drives in the street legal class. That was enough to win this modified class race. Brilliant drive and a brilliant result. Now let's move over to day number 2. Gísli Gunnar had no nitrous after the explosion yesterday. However, that didn't stop him from throwing the car up there. However, that was a very bad landing and he injured his back quite heftily. Had to retire from that race and he will be out of the competition, out of Formula Offroad for over a year. We hope Gísli Gunnar will return soon, but these landings can be very, very rough. Gísli was not the only one to injure himself. Kristinn Dagsson also landed badly there and had to retire. And a lot of people questioned the course layout there. However, Kristinn continued here, but he's half a man there. Now it was worse for Birgir Sigurðsson. Same jump. Very bad landing and he will be out of competition for at least a year. It's amazing how with the adrenaline these guys don't really figure it out right away. So let's see it again here. It's thrown really badly. And it's the first time in the 50-year history of the sport that we see multiple injuries at the same event. And measurements will be taken so that this will not repeat itself. Here we see Birgir from his side. Oh, it's such a hard knock there. And it, well, knocks up into the spine. Birgir managed to drive himself to the ambulance. Just parked it there and just said, hey guys, take me to the hospital. Shouldn't be climbing out there himself, but he does. Unfortunately, those were not the only injuries. This is Fjölnir Guðmundsson. He broke his hand here. Fjölnir is actually a doctor, so he could help himself, but we wish him and all of them all the best in their recovery. See it again, he gets his hand thrown out of the car. And the roll cage got heavily damaged. His crew worked through the night to rebuild the car. And Kristján Skjóldal competed on the 2nd day with a new roll cage. He had some transmission troubles right away, but he finished the day. Now back to the competition. This is Thor Thormar Pálsson. First track of the 2nd day. But he does that jump fast enough to get over those bumps. And there Thor rolls it, giving Atli Jamil the gift of an easy lead. It is Geir Evert Grímsson driving the sledgehammer. He got the fastest time in the time attack. 32.7 seconds. Now let's see the standings. Atli Jamil leads Haukur, Guðlaugur, Þór Þormar and Geir Evert. And note, the second day does not count as an Icelandic championship, only for the FIA NEZ North European Championship. Here is Mikael Johnson driving the Pegasus. Almost rolls it there. This track long, however not too technical or difficult, but tiring. 2-day events, also extra testing on the drivers, on their stamina and concentration. 40 penalty points there for reversing. Mikael was sitting in 10th place. Very steep fall here that he needs to get down. 120 points for Mikael. Now drivers would carry their points on from day number 1 to day 2, even though day number 2 did not count to the Icelandic Championship. It did in the FIA. And here we see the defending champion down in 7th place, upside down. It is Guðlaugur Sindri Helgason, homeboy, Yellow Magic. And he goes the same way, and leaving on his wheels. Probably just wanted to give it full throttle there and go again, but the rules do not allow that. Now Þór Þormar needs a good result after that horrendous time attack fail. Þór Þormar, a very wild driver, needs to maybe find a way to be a little bit calmer, because the skill is definitely there. Þór Þormar all the way. Now the big and very steep second part of the course. Gets it turned here, trying to get it rotated as soon as it lands. And just drive it through the gate there. Needs to set it up for the final climb. Throttle, goes for it, and he puts the pressure on Atli Jamil. 350 for length, 60 penalty points, so that's 290. Let's see how Atli Jamil responds. Through the first gate, penalty points there. Up top, going for the second part, the downhill, and then getting it turned for the uphill. Gets it ready, goes for it. Well done, he defends his big margin. Here's Haukur Einarsson, Hekla. He needs to go all the way to stay ahead of Þór Þormar, past him after the time attack. What can Haukur do here? Not quite all the way. Still second though, however it's very close. Let's see how close. Atli Jamil leads with almost 300 points. Haukur second, Þór Þormar third. Track number 9. This track was very difficult. And here we see Guðni Grímsson driving the cube, showing us that. Right at the beginning, 50 points. Here is Geir Evert Grímsson. He's getting ready. Lines it up. And the same result. However, 60 points for Geir Evert. Goes a little bit further. If any of the drivers can make it all the way here, it's really gonna pay off. With many of these drivers having troubles. Here's Haukur Einarsson. He takes a completely different route. He managed to get into the gate. That's very, very clever from Haukur. A lot of penalty points though, so he needs to go on. But that's not good. He should have gotten at least 150 points for the length, and only 80 penalty points. However, Haukur is not very happy because he got 0 points. And a questionable judgment by the stewards. Here is Ingólfur Guðrason driving Guttin Reborn. He was 9th before that track. 40 penalty points for reversing. He saw how Haukur did it. He wants to do the same, but he can't. For some reason he doesn't get any penalties, even though he reversed. So that's 50 points. The stewards having an odd day at track number 9. Here is Kristján Finnur Simonsson. He was driving well in Egilsstadir. Let's see how it goes for him here. Will he make it through the first bank? He goes all the way, at least full throttle, but won't go far now. He was sitting in 6th place. However, this meant he had to retire for the day. Way back it rolls. And the car getting pulled back. Now next up, Guðmundur Eliasson driving Rodeo. He finished the first day in 12th. He was doing better on the second day. However, he rolls here like so many others have before him. 50 points for Guðmundur. Now, big drama. Atli Jamil, he couldn't start his car. He missed the track. Thor Thormar can take the lead. However, he needs to get over that first climb to begin with. And he doesn't. Only 50 points gained on Atli. A huge disappointment for Thor Thormar. However, big relief for Atli Jamil, who retains a big lead even though he didn't partake in that track. Atli Jamil, Thor Thormar, Haukur, Geir Evert, Guðlaugur. Now track number 10. 12 tracks this day. Here we have Guðlaugur Sindri Helgason, the local boy. He's currently in 5th. Needs a good result here. Gets stuck there, so that's not a lot of points. Only 140 points for Guðlaugur. The second day, of course, is proving very difficult. Here's Haukur Einarsson. He's driving Hekla. Let's see what Haukur can pull out of his helmet. Gets through that gate. 20 penalty points there. Will he manage to get some traction there? He does. 20 more. Oh, he gets it rolled there, so that's only 190 points. Very difficult, challenging tracks. A total of 49 rolls in the race, and that is, to our best knowledge, a new world record. Aron Ingi Svansson driving the Storm. The roll cage been rebuilt after his big crash. That is a very tidy line and a brilliant job. However, rolls it up top, so that's only 160 points. Track far from finished. Here is Kristján Skjöldal, also with a rebuilt roll cage. And this is Kristján's first ever race in the modern Formula Offroad. He competed in the 1980s in a Lada. Probably a little bit more power in this machine. 170 points for Kristján Skjöldal. Here is Tor Eil Torland. He could get into the top 5 here if he goes all the way. Let's see what the Norwegian does. Going for that gate, but he gets stuck there. Reverses. Is he going to try again? So many penalty points already. And doesn't make it. It's always the gamble you take. If you reverse and you try to go for a gate and you don't make it, that's 40 penalty points nonetheless. He gets 130 points for this course. Thor Thormar Pálsson, this could be his last chance to close the gap. Atli is still having engine troubles. Hasn't driven the course yet. We don't know if he will go. So let's see what Thor Thormar can do. Will he be able to chunk off Atli's lead? He's in a bit of a pickle there. Goes for it. Doesn't make it all the way. That's 180 points. Atli Jamil. He need to hope that Atli Jamil wouldn't make it. However, As Atli made it too late, he will only get half points for this course. Let's see how far he goes. Good drive. Gets 200 points, but that's only 100, so he gets 60 points in total. Now let's see. Atli Jamil leads Thor Thormar for the final race, for the final course. And Haukur in third. The final course is coming up. This is Geir Grimsson in the 11th course. It's a tricky hill there, very loose, a lot of big rocks. Now needs to take that turn. You can see that yellow border on the lower hand of the screen now. That's the out of bounds marker. Nobody can cross that. And then the black flag immediately. So Guðlaugur had to reverse there. Big jump, big crash, big roll for Geir Evert. Now this is Guðlaugur, Yellow Magic. He has a chance to make up a place in this course. Goes for it. Gets a bit stuck there, but hey, let's just try again. And that worked out for him there until he sat at the top of the hill. 110 points for length. Here's Haukur Einarsson. He was a bit angry because he felt that he had lost points, which we agree with him, having looked at the video referee. However, there's no video referee in Formula Offroad. And here his day just goes from bad to worse. 50 points for Haukur. Now Ingólfur Guðarsson, he was working his way up the leaderboard slowly again on day number 2. Let's see how he gets on in the penultimate course. So far so good. Needs to take care of that yellow marker on the right, which we will see when he goes a bit lower. He's not allowed to cross it. He's very tight here. He might be too tight. He's gonna reverse it. Not into... Well, with the car sliding there, it actually worked in his favor. Or what? He's gone too far. He's already got 40 penalty points for reversing. Needs to try and grab onto that gate, but it doesn't. And he crosses the yellow marker. Here is Atli Jamil. Engine definitely working well now, but not well enough, as he gets stuck early on in the course. He knows he doesn't need to take any chances. Oh, what? He tries. 100 points for Atli. Here is Aron Ingi Svansson. The Honda engine working like a charm all weekend. And he decides to go all in. But not enough. Backs it up. Will he try again? Aron bought the chassis from Denmark. The car had been competing in the Norwegian Championship, and up it goes. And through the next bank. Good job from Aron. Now needs to line up here without crossing that yellow marker. He's dangerously close. Needs to reverse it, but he's not getting into reverse. Oh, that's an angry Aron. The Honda engine might be working well, but I don't know if it's a Honda gearbox. Something went wrong there. It is Kristján Skjöldal. He's been in the service crew of his cars for the past 2 years. Gets his reward now and goes for it. That's well done, but not quite the landing he was hoping for. Will he get going again? Goes for it, tries. Not good enough. 60 points for Kristján. Here is Guðmundur Eliasson driving Rodeo. 100 points. Gets stuck there. That hill is getting torn and cut up pretty bigly. Thor Thormar here. Atli gave him another chance to catch him. He only got 100 points, but Thor Thormar is in trouble. Thor needs at least 30 points for length. He gets 40 penalty points here. Atli keeps giving Thor the chance to catch him, but he's just not grabbing it. Let's see what he can do here. He's definitely gonna go for it. Thor just is that type of guy. Guns it. Gets over the hill. Or what? No, he does not. That's expensive. He had the chance and he's throwing it away. He's probably thrown it too far. 40 penalty points. So that 40 points, sorry, for Thor Thormar. Here is Ásmundur Ingjaldsson, the bomb. He was 12th before this track. However, he's going very well here. Could pull himself quite far up the points with a good result. Look out for the yellow marker. Nobody has passed this part of the course yet. Sounds a bit weird there. However, he managed to get it going, get it into reverse. Pulls it, gets through that gate. Good job. And now goes for that final bank. Gets his wheel up there. Only 90 points though. Now for before the final course, Atli Amel leads Geir Evert by almost 200 points. Haukur third and Thor Thormar falling all the way down to 4th. Thor Thormar throwing away all his chances. Here is Haukur Einarsson. He needs to stay a bit higher here. May have been out of bounds. Will he get black flag? We will see. What will the judges say? Well, he's continuing. Goes for the final climb. Going for it, gunning it. Goes for that one. However, he was deemed out of bounds and only got 150 points for length. Here is Geir Evert Grímsson driving the sledgehammer. He was up to 2nd after a great drive in the last course. Can he hold on to it here in the final course of the day? Runs in trouble. He's probably out of bounds as well. Or what? He's a bit higher up than his predecessor. 40 penalty points for reversing there. Then he guns it. Jump. That's only 120 points and some damage. That could cost him the 2nd place. Now Aron Ingi Swansson driving the Storm. However, like Atli in the 10th track, Aron had to go back in the starting order, so he only gets half points. This is because of delayed start. Could be an engine trouble. Aron retired on day number 1, so he never had a chance of victory. However, he ended his first race in the new car in 15th. And we will look forward to seeing more of this in the coming races. Now, let's see. Gunni Grímsson, not his weekend in Egilsstadir. Ended up in 9th place. And things just got worse. Now Ingólfur Guðrason, Guðni Born, a bad weekend. Ended even worse. He finished 7th, but only after this. Ingólfur leading the championship before he came to Egilsstadir. Definitely not when he left. It is Atli Jamil Ásgeirsson driving Thunderbolt. He only needs 150 points to secure the win in Egilsstadir. Looking good so far. Need to go through this gate here. Does so. Lets it slide down. goes for the final jump. Fantastic from Atli, his first ever World Championship win. After coming second last year, Atli is also leading the Icelandic Championship after the first day. Þór Þormar, he couldn't get back to first, however he had a chance to take second place from Geir Evert. He's doing all he can here, gets through the gate, needs to get it spun here. Decides to reverse, that's 40 penalty points, but that did not help him much. Reverses more. Trying to get it lined up here for that final time. He did the high jump on day number 1. Now he did the long jump. 190 points means, however, that Þór Þormar climbs up to second place. Let's see how it all ended up in the World Championship event. Atli Jamil, our new FIA NEZ champion. Þór Þormar second, Geir Evert third. It was a well-deserved win from Atli Jamil over a very demanding weekend. He gave the chances to Þór Þormar, but he just didn't grab them back. Atli now leads the Icelandic Championship by 3 points over Þór Þormar Pálsson. And next time around, we will have a 2-day event in Akranes where the fight is on for the championship.